Bills Mafia is my favorite fan base, of course. I love interacting with the Bills Mafia in regards to any Bills topic, whether it's a player that the Bills Mafia really wants via the draft, via trade, via free agency. That's one of my favorite things about my podcast is interacting with tons of members of Bills Mafia from all throughout, not just the US of A, but the world. Bills Mafia is everywhere. It's a far bigger fan base than what is discussed in the sports landscape, sports media. They don't quite understand just how much movement there is within the Mafia, or within the Bills Mafia. And there's been a topic that has circulated within the Bills Mafia over the last couple months, really since this offseason has begun, and it's in regards to the tight end position, and in particular Zach Ertz, and the Buffalo Bills going out and making a trade for Zach Ertz. And there's a lot of times where there's discussions like this where the Bills are in the crosshairs of a player that might come here via trade due to the fact that the Bills have an opening at the position. They might be interested in this player for another reason, whether the player might have a connection to the team with a former teammate, or just simply put, they have a need at that position. And in this case, it kind of fills those needs with Zach Ertz. And I look at Zach Ertz in a very interesting way in terms of, yeah, it fills a need for the Buffalo Bills, but is Zach Ertz the player that completes this Buffalo Bills offense? I don't know if I could quite say that as well. And for the first time in quite a long time, I actually have to disagree with the Bills Mafia in terms of, my interest level in Zach Ertz. My interest level in Ertz is actually relatively low in comparison to what I have seen from the majority of Bills Mafia. It appears like the majority of the Bills Mafia really wants Zach Ertz. They wish that Buffalo had made the trade for him in the draft during draft weekend, and I'm actually not on that boat. I feel like Zach Ertz is a good player. Is he a great player? Was he ever really a great player? Can I say that? I can't say that. With a straight face. I could say he was a solid player, a good player. Was he great? Was he, one of the top two players ever at his position? No. Does he improve the Bills? When healthy, of course. But you could put that when healthy tagline on really any player. Zach Ertz hasn't really been healthy over the last few years. So, Buffalo trading for him, what would we trade? Well, we're a pretty good team. We're not going to really trade any of our players away for a player like this. We're a good team, but adding to a team that's already good, making it great, that has to happen via the draft. So you're asking for Buffalo to trade draft picks away for a player that I don't know how much better he makes the Buffalo Bills, if he makes the Buffalo Bills that much better, due to the fact that he just hasn't been able to stay healthy over the last few seasons. So I like who the Bills have as well in the tight end room with Dawson Knox, with Jacob Hollister. That's a speculative ad that, as I touched on earlier, Jacob Hollister played college ball with Josh Allen, so there's a common, I guess you could say, camaraderie within, Allen and Hollister. With Zach Ertz, I just don't know if that would fully help the Bills in the same way that it would, Stephon Diggs coming to the Buffalo Bills. It's just not quite the same move, not quite the same mojo that move would bring in comparison to the Diggs move. And I feel like this is the Bills Mafia somewhat jumping the shark a little bit on the whole thought process that Dawson Knox is not the guy, that Jacob Hollister is not the guy, that, we don't have the guy as a tight end. We don't need the guy as the tight end. We don't need the guy. We don't need the Rob Gronkowskis, the Travis Kelce's. Would it be nice if we had a Rob Gronkowski or a Travis Kelce? Yeah, it would, but those guys are not available. And those guys don't grow on trees. Those guys are very, very rare specimens at the tight end position. So, Ertz, I think, is a good tight end, but I can't say with a straight face that he's great due to the fact that he has not been able to stay healthy. And I don't want guys on this team that can't stay healthy. I want guys on this team that are ready to play, ready to contribute. And I like the fact that we have a very intriguing training camp battle between Dawson Knox and Jacob Hollister. Reggie Gilliam did some decent things in training camp last year in order to make this team as well that have to be thrown out there and have to be respected. So, I'm not on board with Zach Ertz coming here for a third-round pick or, a second-round pick. Way too rich of a price tag for me. And I think it's way too rich of a price tag for Brandon Beane, or else this trade would have already been made. The ship has ultimately been, the ship has been sailed on this trade for quite some time. So I think the talking point of it has died down. I'm not sure why it is coming back up. I think it's a little bit misplaced by the Bills Mafia in this regard to demand for Zach Ertz to be traded here. I don't see that as a must move by Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott.